Louisa Gold is an incredible hero. I mean, what she did to take in a Russian POW like she did and fight for him like she did, and be so brazen about it as well in the community. I mean, she was incredibly brave. It's off the chart. You ask yourself, would you do the same today in a scenario like that? And it's a good question to ask yourself, because I don't know how most people would answer.
In 2010, Gordon Brown gave her and her brother and her sister Heroes of the Holocaust Awards for their services to humanity. And she was an astounding British hero, I think. And Bill lived to old bones because of Louisa Gould.
Yeah, and lived a happy life. And I think that's the most important thing. Because of her and her kindness and her humanity, he was able to then fall in love, get married, and live a full life. Which is, it's a hard thing to... I can't even imagine it's a hard thing to come back from a situation like that, where you're beaten and you were a prisoner for so long.
And you know that the woman who saved you has given her life for you.
Especially destroyed him. But for her sake, he must have lived a happy life. So, yeah.
What's remarkable about it, of course, is that it was the only part of the UK that was occupied by Nazi Germany, which a lot of people either don't realise really happened or have forgotten that it did. And so the people of the Channel Islands were operating under the same kind of regime as the rest of occupied Europe. And while we think rather proudly back about how Britain stood alone against the might of the Third Reich, part of us was actually occupied, which is, I still find, pretty remarkable.
I didn't know that the island was both French and English, and being French, I kind of assumed that it was French, and more importantly, I didn't know that it was left to its own device during the war. And to hear the plight of the inhabitants on the island, I thought was really, really moving and really interesting.
I suppose the biggest challenge was the decision to do it, because I felt such a responsibility. My family had been involved in this in the 1940s. I'd always known about it as a young person, but many people outside of the Channel Islands don't really know the full story, and therefore it felt sort of incumbent upon me to get it out to the wider public. I thought, if I get this wrong, people are going to have completely the wrong idea of what happened. So yes, I think that just the courage of starting the research and making the decision to do it was probably the toughest thing.
Harold came out of Belsen. He's the only surviving Briton of Belsen concentration camp, and he came out and he told his story. He also went to the War Crimes Tribunal and testified, and sent 3 Nazi commandants to prison. I mean, what he did as a character, as a man, was unbelievable. So it's a real honour to play this character, and I hope I do him justice.
Obviously, we're not making a documentary. It is a fictionalised account, but we've stuck to the truth as far as we possibly could, and it really is a true story, and it is absolutely the emotional story of what I believe happened to my great aunt and to the young Russian that she saved.
I think, there's a lot of protectionism going on, and you have the example of this amazing woman who took a risk and who went out of her comfort zone to help someone. And I hope that will inspire people.